My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty.
Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I'm having the honor of talking with Jason Jackson. And Jason Jackson calls himself an interior designer, but that's not true. Jason Jackson, when Jason walks into the room, my heart lights up. He brings love wherever he goes. He creates beauty in whatever he does, and he lifts everybody's spirit the minute he walks into the room. With that, Jason, it is an honor to have you here today. Thank you.
Thank you much. What an introduction.
It's true, Jason. It's very true.
You are a fan for sure.
You know, what's so funny is that I'm interviewing you, and we're in a networking group, BNI, which I've recorded about BNI, what it is. And I keep on learning about you, and every day I'm blown away by who you are and what you do in life. Every time I learn a little bit more. And you have this creativity that I've never seen before. Can you speak to how that got developed or what that is for you?
I'm probably similarly blown away, or as surprised as everyone else when I talk about life and things that I've done and the projects that I've had the honor to work on. I often am in awe of what comes my way. How the creativity developed, I don't know. I know that my brother will talk about the fact that, and my mom as well, that the joke was that I would never have to have a babysitter. They could just put me in my room and shut the door, and 6 hours later they can come back and I'm still in there entertaining myself. And I just always, as a kid, was pretty much self-entertained, and I could just make something out of anything. I mean, I would sit in my room and either redecorate it or move things around or make something out of all my toys. And I just always have been a very inspired person, where that really came from or where it started, I'm not sure, but it's been my whole life. I have often, I figure I learned this, I don't know how old I was, but maybe a teenager or whatever, but I would be going through something in my life, and I would go and rearrange my room. And as soon as my room was done, I solved whatever problem, what was going on in my life. It's like almost like the last piece you put in, and whatever I was going through was solved in my mind, and I figured it out, and that was okay. So there's something with the organizing of space and things around me that is a therapy or a means to work things out.
But what you do is so beautiful with people. I mean, because we've talked about this, and what I see that you do in your work is the interior design or whatever you're doing is like the after thing, but it's like you bring love to people, this love of whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, how I land on these projects, I'm not sure, but once I get into the project, I have a unique, I have a sensitivity that was developed in me from from childhood, and I am just very sensitive to energy and to people and to reading the room, and so I approach a project with following the energy of the space and of the people. You can. You said when I walk in the room, I light up. I see that, and I'm able to nurture that and kind of take people along a journey with me. And it's a journey where they want to go. Obviously, I'm just helping them get there. I'm kind of a shepherd to help them see a new way of living and a new way of seeing themselves, or seeing the love that's in their house or in them that can be shared and given.
What is it? How do you see the energy or feel the energy of a room? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So the energy of a room, I mean, all rooms and all spaces, they call for something, I mean, if you walk into a dining room and you understand, hey, the table's got to be welcoming. You've got to make sure there's access to all sides of the table. And you look at a room and you say, okay, this table's right for in here. This table's not right for in here. And it's just a sense for the space. I mean, one thing that I've done for clients that, wasn't really sure what they were going to do with an interior design project is I can go in and just rearrange the things that you have in a different way and bring whole new life to, the objects or the room or the way the house functions just by utilizing the stuff they already have. And people are always just amazed, like, is that mine? Or, this is really my stuff, um, you know, and that process, a lot of it is weeding things out that don't belong, and just finding new, places for things that need new life. I mean, everything has energy, and we react to it subconsciously. People don't understand. When you look at a flower arrangement is normally two times the size of the vase, and you don't realize that you're seeing the proportion, but that's what you see when you walk in and you see a beautiful flower arrangement. It's proportioned well, and it's balanced and everything else, but yeah, it's these little cues that people take in when they see something that they don't really realize they're seeing.
So it's that they're feeling it. They're taking it in and feeling it.
Right.
You started doing flower arrangements that are blowing my mind. How did you start that? What made you?
Well, I've just always loved flowers. I mean, that's one of the, I guess, weaknesses that I have. No matter how much money I have in my pocket, I've always seemed to be going to the flower market and getting flowers and having, flowers around my house. So, and I often give flowers a lot as gifts. I give them to clients, I give them to people that, randomly. My neighbors get lots of flowers. And I don't know, just always enjoy working with that medium. It's just such a beautiful thing to work with. And it's always something different. And, they're unexpected, and they all need different things. And it's just neat to see a bunch of beautiful objects come together in something kind of wild and interesting. And
Go
ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just have a question for you. All of a sudden, I just saw for your clients, have you ever offered them after the completion of the house to do like monthly flower arrangements for them? Have you ever done that?
I haven't offered on a monthly basis, but every time I finish a project, I do the house with flowers and set it up for when they come home as like a little aha moment. But I do have my first in-home flower installation on June 10th.
And what's that for? I'm so excited.
It's for an anniversary. And they randomly found me on Instagram and hit me up and said, how do I buy something from you? And actually ended up knowing the person, and they know me. We talked on the phone, and they're like, hey, my anniversary's coming up on the 9th. And what do you think about making a flower arrangement for me? Then I said, well, what I'll do is I'll come down with the arrangement and I'll bring all the extra pieces and we'll put those around the house and kind of make the whole house a little celebration for your anniversary.
Oh my God, Jason.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been manifesting. My first in-home installation and my first wedding, my first $20,000 wedding.
Well, let's, my wish would be that somebody who's going to listen to this podcast has a wedding coming up and
Awesome.
They could see the beauty of your flowers. And why do you love to do flowers? What is it about that?
The flowers. They just bring a lot of joy to everybody. I mean, I'm not sure I've never met anyone that said they don't like flowers, but maybe I should ask the person who says they don't like live music, because I did hear that one time. I was like, you don't like live music? What is that about? Who are you? But no, I mean, I think everyone can appreciate flowers, and flowers are life, and it's it's an expression of beauty that is like no other. Everything's you can have a poppy. No two poppies are the same, or no two roses the same, and it's just absolutely beautiful what life has given us through flowers. And I love putting together in unique arrangements that maybe most folks wouldn't put certain things together. And I try to push those limits and do something a little different to make people smile.
Can you give an example?
Let's see an example of something that's kind of odd. I think recently I did a piece that was remember the smoke bush that you offered me from your house?
Yeah.
So I went to the flower market the next day and bought a big bush of the smoke bush, and I did a kind of a floating arrangement that was floating inside of this like metal box, and it was all smoke bush with just roses coming out of it. It was really cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was really really kind of neat. Yeah, it's fun. It's absolutely fun.
Oh my gosh. I love flowers so much. And to see you do it takes my breath away. You've done stuff, and I'm hoping that I'm going to say something, and this is a total intention. I have two intentions for you. One is get your wedding, but the other one is at Trader Vic's. You
Uh-huh.
do flower arrangements, and I keep on thinking Trader Vic's has to have these because it has such that kind of Southern Pacific charm, but with a unique twist that are
All right.
so beautiful
Oh, that'd be
and
great
so
because those
original.
flowers I get direct from Hawaii. They cut them one day and I have them the next day.
Do you really?
Yeah, totally.
Oh my
That's a great
God.
hookup.
Hmm. Hmm. How is it, Jason, that you, when I feel you, like the energy of you, you have such a bright light and love. That's what I say, is that's what you bring to everything you do. How did you become aware of that and cultivate that? Or did you just something you were born with?
I I think it's hmm. I was this was less how it came to be is or in me. I think it's a little bit of a hard answer. How I realized it or noticed it is was just contemplating, my life and what I'd done and thinking about where my career was going to go. And I realized that where my career had been was such a twisted, windy road of random things. I'm like, who would ever hire me if they ever saw my resume? And when I really thought about it, it came to me as I I follow the love, I follow the energy. I just love making people happy and being of service to folks. And then, after I'd thought about that and that'd been on my mind, you and I got together for breakfast last week and you said the exact same thing. And that's when it just kind of hit me. I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. I was just thinking the same thing. But I I was raised with a little bit of a challenge. Um, I don't know if I want to talk about that here in this spot, but I think that my upbringing, my childhood, forced me to really have compassion for everyone,
Mm,
and
mm.
just realize, that everybody needs love. And I know I made a decision, long ago that everybody needs love, and there's no one that's immune to that at all. We all need love, and so I just try to give it.
Wow. Wow. I'm actually, I can feel in you the depth of that truth, that whatever you saw and whatever caused you to see that, like I can feel the pain of it, but also the gift of it. Like it's like a double-edged coin, but through whatever pain or whatever happened, um, this is what emerged, and it's what makes the love so powerful.
It is a gift. I mean, there was obviously a time in my life that I didn't see as a gift, but I think when we can take our pain and rather than be a victim of it, take it and use it to help someone else.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's where the healing is, for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just, that's where it's at. And I'm very
It,
thankful that I've found that answer early on because,
hmm.
there's many different ways you can take a challenging, rough situation in your life, and it can send us down so many different paths and turn us into people that we don't even recognize. But if you can see the love, if you can see the gift, you can rise above it.
My mother used to have a saying when she was alive. When I was a kid growing up, she would always say, "There's a pony in the manure." Somebody created all that, and what I'm just feeling as you're talking, Jason, is that in all of that pain is this beautiful gift, because I receive it every time you walk into the room. I feel your love, and it makes a difference in my life. And that's the beauty of the pain, like that. If we're not, what you're inviting is not to be afraid of the pain, but open up and find the gift in it.
Yeah. Got to find the gift. You look for the gift, you'll find it, you know?
But what's beautiful is you were telling me about this client out of New York you were working with, and that you and him had a breakdown. And can you talk about like how you're able to transform that?
Yeah. It's a client that I've worked with for a number of years, and we've championed two major projects together. And towards the end of the second project, finances were getting tough, and stress was there because we had been working for a number of years to get this project complete, and we started having a rupture. I think for a number of reasons. One, just because of stress, but two, when you're this close, that close to a client, they become like family, and it's easy to let your hair down and takes things out on family sometimes. So, and I recognize that, and so I just have learned to just let things go in those moments and not resist that. But it got kind of bad, and we weren't really speaking, and I made the decision that the important part is for us to work on our friendship and to finish this project having fun. I mean, we worked on this project for almost 5 years. There's no reason for us to end it in a way that didn't feel good. So I wrote them a letter and said, "Hey, your bill is paid, and you owe me no more money, but we need to finish this project, and let's focus on having fun doing it and nurturing a friendship for a lifetime." And it totally dissipated all the fear, all the problems between us, because I can't speak for them, but the next time I saw them, they said, "Thank you for your note, and don't worry, I'm going to pay you." And I said, "Well, whatever you want to do, it's just not a priority." And ever since then, we focused on having fun and finishing this project. And I do this for the love. I don't do this for the money. I mean, obviously I have to, make money and pay my bills. And, there is definitely a value in what I bring. But at the end of the day, it's that if I would have worked on a project for 5 years and us not have this relationship that we nurtured, I mean, this client trusted me, quite frankly, I spent a lot of their money without any question. It was pretty powerful control that they allowed me with, or entrusted me with. So that's something I needed to make sure that I protected. And I don't know.
How did you come to that? That's such a in relationships, when there's a breakdown, people have a tendency to blame and go, "They did this, they did that." It's like a volley back and forth. And it seems to me there is some moment where you just forgave or let go and focused on what was important.
Well, I was sitting there and thinking, okay, what happened? What changed? What transpired? And I thought, okay, well, this person has trusted me for 5 years. I spent, over $1 million on their credit card without ever being questioned for one receipt or anything. And so there was obviously a lot of trust there. And so, like, what happened that all this trust was seemed to be rescinded, and now there's just this the conflict between us. And what I realized, it was just the stress of money. That's the only thing that changed, was the money ran out, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, this is not about money at this point for me. You know, I've been working for this person for 5 years. Let's take the money stress out of it, at least for my part. And I can't speak for them, but whatever it did, it brought some levity to the situation. And probably because this person cares a lot about me, loves me to death, and was worried about paying my bill. And whether, and that stress on them was hard, because here's this person who, I'm sure they adore me, and I'm sure they, trust me and they love me, and they're worried about taking care of me. And I just let them know that I'm taken care of. It's okay. And I think that it diffused whatever was going on in their mind. And
I want to share something with you. In Aikido, the martial art that I studied for, 13 years, got my black belt in. The premise of Aikido is if somebody's attacking you, that they're hurting. And the job of the person in Aikido is to transform that pain and transform it into love. Oh, wow. And that to me is what you did, is that you saw her pain, you saw the love behind it, and saw her pain, and you transformed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that's how Aikido.
You didn't know that? Well, you learn something new every day, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Aikido, is that human beings, when we feel good and we feel safe, we don't attack. It's only when we're hurting or we're afraid or feel threatened that we lash out. But underneath it is this energy of love or compassion that is there. And so if you can receive the energy and not take it personally, it can be transformed with love. And you did that, a perfect Aikido move off the mat, which is harder because it has emotions in it and you can't always see what's going on. We can't understand it.
Yeah. Well, I had a little practice. Since we did true projects, I had a little practice. The first project, I saw the same, pattern at the first project, and I was like, okay, well, we're going to do this differently. And so I switched the approach.
But it's beautiful. I mean, that's how wars get started, is when people don't see that.
Yeah. Well, we all operate out of Survivor a lot of times, and it's hard to put down those things and step back and let some love in, We all need love, but we're not always ready to receive it.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Sometimes what looked like love wasn't love. That was somebody hurting, giving love.
Yeah.
But the gift is when we really allow it and we receive it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Jason, it's an honor to talk to you. I think we're coming to the end of this time, and I want people to find your flowers. I want people to find obviously I have Trader Vic's. If you're here, anybody hears this or knows somebody at Trader Vic's, can you please connect them with Jason Jackson?
Great. So you can find my design business at JJTBD. That's TBD for to be determined, or the business of design, whatever you'd like it to be. And then the flowers is Make Your Day Blooms. Both of those websites there can reach me some way, some form, and would love to bring some flowers, some love, and maybe some interior design to somebody's life.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.